And actually some housekeeping, so I will mute. Let me see if I can mute or if you guys can mute. Oop. Okay. So imagine with me for a moment that everything in your life seems to be going great. You haven't felt this good in a very long time. Your career has taken off. Your body feels the best it's ever been. You feel spiritually aligned and on track. Your financial picture is blossoming and you are able to do things you've never thought possible. And even your crazy relationships have suddenly improved. Remember, everything in your life is better and it feels so good. Then suddenly, like the snap of your fingers, your life seems to be spiraling backwards. All the wonderful movement forward has disappeared and you are now feeling like life went from great to not so good. And maybe your relationships have taken a turn for the worse. The career, success, and opportunities you were experiencing has stopped, and you are feeling like you are no longer on track to reach your goals. The financial flow that seemed to be abundant has suddenly dried up like a desert. You are wondering what the heck happened. Everything in your life had seemed to be in alignment, and now it all feels painful, disconnected, and confusing. You are not alone. For many of us, our life feels like a roller coaster of up and down spirals. We have upwards movement in our lives, followed by downward spirals. We are often left feeling uninspired, unmotivated, and unsuccessful because we don't know why this has happened. Why did we have all this upward movement followed by all this downward spiral, sometimes into the abyss of gloom and doom? You are not alone. The roller coaster of success and good things happening is experienced by amazing people like you every single day. You are in the right place because I'm going to help you shift these patterns, beliefs, and programs that are keeping you from consistently achieving all of your heart's desires, including energy-aligned success. I am Jacqueline Kane, best-selling author, internationally recognized medical intuitive and certified practitioner and facilitator. I empower my clients to do three things: liberate themselves from their past, live powerfully in the present moment, and love the life they get to create now. Welcome to Energetically Aligned Success Secrets, 3 expert steps to experience a happy, healthy, and wealthy life today. I want to thank you for being proactive about your health, your wealth, and your life. There are lots of other places you could be, however you chose to be here. I will do my very best to make sure your time is well spent. If you are ready to consistently up-level your life in all areas, I'm passionate about helping you today. Today, I'm going to reveal to you super common challenges that most women experience when wanting to create the life they've always wanted. And I will share with you the essential steps you can implement to clear blocks, patterns, and beliefs that get in your way. Plus, I will include an easy way to shift your thoughts and feel better quickly, no matter what is going on in your life. May I tell you why I'm so passionate about helping women overcome what gets in their way? Does that sound okay? When people interact with me, they often comment on how at ease I seem to be. They will often think that I have had a really good life because of my calm, confident, happy, and easy personality. They aren't aware of the challenges that I've experienced and what I've overcome to get to this place. The person I am here today, the one speaking to you, isn't the same person I used to be. When I was young, I was a very shy little girl. I was terrified to speak. Anytime I had to talk, whether at home or at school, it was my worst nightmare. And I would get that sinking feeling in my stomach. It didn't matter where I was always afraid to speak up. And I didn't want to be seen, judged, and ultimately, I didn't want to be visible. When I didn't speak, I beat myself up for not speaking up, and I felt anxious when I did. I lived in constant fear and pressure. I would put pressure on myself to say something really important, and then I would beat myself up afterwards, depending on how it came out. Anytime I spoke, I would think about it repeatedly. It was like living a painful video reel playing over and over again in my head. I would beat myself up for days for fear I said something wrong, telling myself I shouldn't have said that, calling myself a loser and thinking I should have known better, asking myself over and over again, why did I do that? And telling myself I was such an idiot. Now I know how destructive that thought pattern was and is still for me. This behavior was a pattern that I had set at an early age. And as I grew up, I found that that same negative thought pattern was showing up in my life daily as an adult. This overwhelming fear was holding me back in my relationships, my career, and my finances, and it was impacting me on a day-to-day basis. Rather than deal with my own pain and insecurities, I put my focus on others and put all their needs first. I thought I could avoid my personal challenges and feel good if I helped others. I wasn't sleeping because I was tending to every single person in my life and what they needed. Caring for my husband, working longer hours, carting the kids around, making their meals, making sure everyone was happy except myself. Instead of saying to my husband or my kids, I need me time, I found myself in the same pattern of not taking care of me, not speaking up when I needed something, and not sharing what was important to me because I was afraid of what people would think of me. No matter how hard I tried to avoid my pain, my discomfort was like a blaring light trying to get my attention. That was all about to change when I realized I spent too much time not feeling heard and appreciated, and that I was tired of giving in and being quiet. All the years of living in fear of speaking up, not sharing my ideas, not being heard, and not being seen had hit a boiling point. If I didn't get a handle on it, I was going to burst because over time, all my silence turned into resentment and anger. And I was really at my rock bottom when I had a divine intervention. I was invited to be part of a coaching program, and I knew it was time for me to invest in my time, my finances, and energy into healing what was holding me back. I felt like fate stepped into my life and I decided to do something for me, which was the first time in my life I took care of me. I took action on what was asked of me. I kept an open mind and put the focus on me and stayed willing so that I could release the past and current beliefs that were hindering my life. I realized that I do matter and what I wanted in life was important, and that I was not going to waste another day not doing what I really wanted to do. I continued to want to learn and evolve because now I knew what was possible for me. I invested in myself with additional training and finally healed the trauma and stories I was telling myself. I finally started to like myself. I felt seen and heard for the very first time. And because I had such personal transformation, I wanted others to experience the healing and the depth of the release that I had. I was able to have fun speaking up and being seen and being heard in a brand new way, and finally have fun being me, and allowed myself to be me on a day-to-day basis. The best part, for almost a decade, I've been helping my clients find relief from chronic pain, emotional pain, and overwhelming stress and anxiety. I've continued to invest in myself to be the best in my industry, so my clients get the best and highest level of results possible. I love working with my international clients, whether they are dealing with chronic pain, emotional blocks, being a trauma survivor, financial barriers, and inability to own their value and their worth. And my heart is filled with immense gratitude as I see my clients make positive shifts and achieve results they've never thought possible before. Before we get to the main points, I'm going to share with you, I'd like to go over some agreements. 1, because of limited time, please hold your questions to the end of the presentation, where I will stay as long as I need to answer any questions. And 2, sometimes we can block ourselves from learning great information, or we may have a particular viewpoint that may keep us stuck. I'm going to ask that everyone be open to some self-discovery today. That sound okay, everybody? Great, let's get to the secrets. Secret number 1 is start trusting again. So who here knows what intuition is? And how many of you would love to trust your intuition more and increase your intuitive abilities? Well, that's good that all of you know what intuition is. Usually I like to call it our inner guidance and our messages from our spirit. I call it those creative downloads when our mental chatter is really quiet. I've heard from many of my clients that when they were young, they could feel things that no one else felt, and they knew things that no one else felt. And for them, it was a feeling or that they sensed it or saw something. And they may not have understood what they sensed or saw, but they had an inner knowing that it was truth. Unfortunately, when that child shared their insights or their information with the people around them, it scared those people around them. And the adults wondered, how did you know this? How do little children know these things? For some children, it caused them to doubt their intuition. It caused them to feel that they were doing something wrong because they felt their mother or their adult caretakers, they sensed their insecurities around what they were being told. So that child grew to be scared and even traumatized in that moment because she felt she did something wrong. And she learned to distrust her intuition. And when she begins to doubt herself, she begins to distrust what she knew in her heart to be true. And this is when that little child creates a pattern and a habit of questioning her inner knowledge. She begins to not trust her intuition. This is when she begins to believe that there's something very wrong with her and creates thoughts and beliefs that she's not good enough. So share in the chat if this is resonating with you. Did you have your intuition at a very young age? Did you know when you were intuitive? Did you have it at a very young age, Ina? Oh. You can unmute.
I think I recognized it. I remember back to probably being about 5 when I actually remembered.
And for your intuition, did you know things or see things or sense things?
Both. Or all of the above, I should say.
And how did your people around you react to that?
Believe it or not, my grandmother was very intuitive, so she promoted it. So and she had like visions and saw spirits and things, so she promoted it. My mom, well, the household that I lived in was not so much, but yeah.
And so is this resonating with you? Did you start to doubt it?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing. I even had another client, Tina, who the same thing. She was very intuitive as a young girl, but it scared her mom. And her mom actually told her, don't do that. That's wrong. And flatly told her to stop it. So she created a life where she was really doubting it and really shut down that energy and that superpower of hers, because that's really what your intuition is. It's your superpower. And so in our work together, we were able to heal and reframe that experience so that she's now able to trust her intuition. And she uses it a lot in her business. And also it showed up, she was able, because of our work together, she was able to have a completely different relationship with her daughter, where now her daughter was doing things for her instead of she was doing everything for her daughter. And Audrey, you too had it at a young age. That's awesome. I think we all did, right? But we don't really realize what it is. So in order to heal the negative beliefs about trusting your intuition, it's important to consider doing some forgiveness work, because that young inner child is still inside of you, doubting all of it and feeling afraid to speak up. So when working with my clients, we do a deep dive into their forgiveness journey. So for today, I'd like to recommend that you implement this step, which will help you to begin your journey of increasing your intuition and forgiving the reasons your intuition was blocked. So just for a moment, if everybody can just close your eyes and take a deep breath and visualize your younger self. And ask your younger self, what would you like me to know today about my intuition? And you might discover your intuition says, I've been with you your whole life, and I love you. And I'm always here for you. And hopefully you've got some answers and you can come back to the here and now. And just know that your intuition will tell you exactly what you are meant to hear. And it will be loving, non-judgmental, and supportive, because your intuition never says you're a jerk or that you're not good enough or anything like that. Your intuition always lovingly guides and supports you. And this is a process. So take your time with it and take time each week, each day to tune into your intuition. So expert secret number 2, you get to create it. In order to create the energy aligned success you desire, you want to be clear on the beliefs that you've been creating and that are in creating your life right now. So I'm assuming with this group here that you've heard of the term manifestation and you've heard of the term law of attraction. So for me, these terms mean that thoughts become things. When we think something, we attract it. And we attract it towards us, the good and the not so good, which means we are a crucial element in creating our lives and what we want to experience. We manifest our lives by our beliefs. It's not about beating ourselves up and judging ourselves for attracting a life we don't desire. It's about realizing we have the power to change it. For example, if we believe it's impossible to be pain-free, we create the ability to be pain-free. If we think it's safe to be our authentic self, we create more situations to prove that true. If we think we will find our purpose, we will, and we will do it more quickly than someone who says it's going to take a long time to figure it out. For example, the last few years, I've been taking my mother to her doctor's appointments for her knee pain. And every time we drive there, she's like, he can't do anything. Nothing's going to work. And lo and behold, nothing works. She's still in pain. She still can't hear people, and she's still having a hard time. But that's her choice. And I honor her for where she's at and for what she's doing. Even though I could help her, you know how it goes with parent relationships. They are not going to listen to their child, no matter how many success stories I have. So I want you to think of someone who has created the life that you desire. It could be a wealthy entrepreneur, a celebrity, a best-selling author, or an international speaker. Think of that person now. And when you think of that super successful person, raise your hand if you believe they tell themselves any of these statements. I can't do it. I don't have enough money. It won't work for me. We can all clearly see the super successful people don't let negative thoughts hold them back. Now let's think of someone you know who has a lot of challenges, and they are often complaining about their life. It could be a spouse, a relative, a colleague, a friend. Remember, pick someone you know who has a lot of challenges and they are often complaining about their life. Raise your hand if you've heard them say something like, I can't do it. It's going to take a long time. It won't work for me. We can all clearly see the challenged folks let negative thoughts hold them back, and they are creating exactly what they don't want. I'm assuming you can see how the law of attraction is at work here. Which life do you want? The super successful or the super challenged? Now, let's talk about your thoughts. Did you know you have 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day? Here's a great step you can take to start reframing your negative law of attraction thoughts and the empowering go for your dreams law of attraction. Create a law of attraction journal so you can take control of your thoughts and put more of the good stuff in. Keep the law of attraction journal on your desk, in your handbag, anywhere you can have easy access to it. And to diminish those dream-killing negative thoughts, this is how we can reframe them. First, you will want to write down 5 to 10 of them per day. If one of those 60,000 thoughts says, you can't do it, you cancel it out, write a big X and say cancel, clear, delete. And write, I can do it instead. And for every negative thought, repeat, cancel, clear, delete 3 times. And even right now, for those 60,000 thoughts that are passing through your mind, everybody say, cancel, clear, delete, even if it's small. You don't have any, Audra?
I just said cancel, clear, delete. I have
Love it.
but I kick them out early. I kick them out.
Good. I like that. Yeah, just kick them out like little human beings.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Let's talk about expert secret number 3, generation connection. How many of you have heard statements like this? You have to work hard to make money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are evil, and nothing is ever easy. It's clear that we've heard these statements. We didn't make them up. And yet, where did they come from? How did they get into our mindset? They've been passed down from generation to generation. We don't even know where they came from, but yet they're in our thoughts. That is why this secret is called the generation connection. We have ancestors that precede us that have experienced plagues, the Great Depression. They may have moved from one country to the next just with the clothing on their back. And most have experienced war. And these are just a few of the potential situations that our ancestors dealt with. Along with financial beliefs our ancestors experienced, there are negative beliefs and experience around health, poor relationships, insecurities, lack of value and worthiness, and feeling judged, amongst others. Most people don't even realize that they're carrying the energy of their ancestors and that energy is what's keeping them stuck in financial struggle, relationship challenges, physical pain, and emotional overwhelm. Ancestral energy is the unresolved emotional issues of your ancestors. And it's super important to really understand that it's the unresolved emotional issues of your ancestors that's been passed down from everybody before you, passed down to you, and now we're passing it to our children until we clear it. When I was creating this talk, I found a great study, and I hadn't even realized this before. There was a study where researchers taught male mice to fear the smell of cherry blossoms by associating the scent with mild foot shocks. Not very nice. 2 weeks later, they bred with females, and the resulting mice offspring were raised to adulthood, having never been exposed to the smell. Yet when the offspring caught a whiff of that smell for the very first time, they suddenly became anxious and fearful. The baby mice were even born with more cherry blossom detecting neurons in their noses and more brain space devoted to cherry blossom smelling. The memory transmission extended out another generation when these male mice bred, and similar results were found. Neuroscientists at Emory University found that genetic markers thought to be wiped clean before birth were used to transmit a single traumatic experience across generations, leaving behind traces in the behavior and anatomy of future mice. I find that just fascinating that we don't even realize it's happening and the impact that this energy is doing to us. So ancestral challenges impact us in the same way too. You may have known those families or seen some families where everyone in the family struggles financially. They all feel like this is just the way it is and they can't change it. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, this is how my health is, I can't change it. This is just the situation in the relationship, I can't change it. They constantly talk about these problems, and as a result, it gets reinforced over and over again as they talk about it. Because as we speak, we are manifesting our lives and creating more of it. These financial beliefs and challenges energetically get passed down unless a person addresses their ancestral challenges. This is why the #1 expert secret to living your happy, healthy, wealthy life is first becoming aware of your ancestral energy that you are carrying and living with on a daily basis, and be open to changing it, be open to clearing it, be open to discovering what exactly is your energy and where does it show up in all areas of your life. So we've spent time talking about finances. However, ancestral clearing and energy can help you in numerous ways. For example, when my client Vicky came to me, she had a lot of anxiety in her life. She was constantly worried and living in fear. She had fear around moving forward, being seen, being heard, and it was all holding her back. In our session together, we discovered the ancestral issues came from her mom's family. There was a long history of worriers. In the session, we were able to clear that worry energy, and she was no longer held back by it. She was finally able to be excited to be seen and be heard and fully ready to welcome in her dreams. She even received $6,000 unexpectedly from her mom after one of our sessions. During these clearing sessions, not only do you get to clear your family's negative emotional ancestral energy, you can also open up the financial flow at the same time. So I'd like to take you through the first step of my ancestral clearing process that I take my clients through. So again, if everybody just wants to take a deep breath and close your eyes. And just tune in and become aware of your own financial situation. And think of the area that you would like to change. Maybe your financial pain could be related to not earning enough, or you aren't making what you want to make, or you want to save more. Just tune into which area you want to focus on today. And now tune into, how does this pain and struggle make you feel? Is there anxiety or worry around it? Or frustration? And who comes to mind in your family when you think of this pain or condition. Always go with the first person who comes to mind. And we are not here to judge them. The ancestor today who popped into your mind came here to show you that with the right help, you can help them heal and heal yourself in the process. How many of you are seeing the relationship between your finances, your health, and your ancestors? So just come back to the here and now. Did everybody have a little bit of aha? And please keep in mind that I'm not telling you to call your grandmother and say it's all your fault. This is just awareness. And when you understand the awareness, when you work with someone like myself, we can remove that from your ancestral energy and it will be gone forever. It doesn't have to take a lot of time to remove these unproductive and ineffective ancestral beliefs. Positive changes can occur easily and effortlessly. And now is the time to release it and let go of your ancestral pain that you've been carrying, which can often feel like a 50-pound weight on your shoulders. Before I close the presentation, as I mentioned to you before, I'm going to share a special opportunity that you are going to love. And before I do, how many of you would like to get quick results? When you want to change your current negative emotional and physical experience, you could get additional help from reading a book, and you can read one of mine. You can watch YouTube channels, you can visit mine, and you can even try to do it all on your own. Reading books, watching videos, and so on, all of that takes a lot of time, and it doesn't allow for quick results. Let me ask you, would you like to fast track your results and get what you want faster? If you do, let me share with you a special opportunity so I can help you get the breakthrough that will change your life and finances forever. In a moment, I will be sharing with you a Google form where you can apply for a complimentary Heal Your Life Now breakthrough session. This is an incredible opportunity to apply for one of these sessions available today. It's an absolutely free 30-minute Heal Your Life Now breakthrough session with me. And during that time, we will get a clear picture on exactly where you are with your health, relationships, and your wealth. We will uncover what is stopping you from achieving your fullest potential in those areas and uncover a plan for how you can start changing this now. All you need to do is fill in your name, email, phone, and answer a few questions and send it back to me. It's that simple. Now is the time for you to achieve all of your dreams and move out the stuff that is getting in your way. With all my heart, I know it's possible and achievable with the right help. If what I'm saying resonates with you or you've been seeking help for some time, I am passionate about helping you finally get the results you desire. Simply fill out the form and send it back to me. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions at any time. You've been an amazing audience. Let me leave you with this one final thought. Healing miracles doesn't just happen to others, and they can happen in any area of your life: health, relationships, and wealth. Healing miracles happen because people are open to them and they ask for help when others give up. You can be a healing miracle even if your doctors, family, and friends tell you nothing will ever change. Thank you for being an incredible audience. Thank you. So now we can open it up. Feel free to unmute yourself and let me know if you have any questions. And thank you, Audra and Michelle.
What I can say is that what Jackie does works in all areas that she talked about. And I'm thankful for that. And there's always more learning to go.
Always until we're in the ground, right? Unfortunately, we're always evolving.
Yep.
Thank you. Any questions, anybody? No. Great. Well, thank you so much for being here. I wish you all have a great day and contact me if you need anything. And I know I'll be seeing some of you going forward.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
you too.
Thank
Bye
you.
now.
Bye.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. What else do you?